My next guest started working for himself at the age of 10 by reselling lost golf balls to golfers at a Melbourne golf course. Now he's the founder and CEO of Kogan Technologies, the online consumer electronics retailer, making retailer heavyweights like Jerry Harvey and I guess JB Hi-Fi as well nervous. To tell us about his rise to success, tech entrepreneur Ruslan Kogan joins me now in the studio. How are you, Ruslan?
Good, thanks. Yourself, Peter?
Fantastic. And you look like an online entrepreneur. There's no suits or anything like that.
Well, suits are expensive these days. You know, we've got to pass on all the savings to the consumers. So
well, I thought you'd be selling suits online by now.
Yeah, possibly. There's definitely an opportunity there.
Okay. Tell us, for people who have never come across you before, explain what your business precisely does.
Well, at Kogan, we believe there's always a better way to create and deliver the technology people want. So what that means is we source accurate information about what people are after, what they want, what are they searching for on the internet.
Yeah, and the internet gives that sort of information.
It does, yes, and it's accurate information, not based on emotions or any market research group or things like that.
Advertising agency.
Exactly, it's sheer facts, raw, exact data. What are people searching in Google?
Yep.
We take that information and we go and manufacture the products. They're all assembled in China using parts from around the world, and then we deliver them to people using a direct business model.
Okay, now people will be at home saying, how can a bloke sitting in a tracksuit top manufacture TVs in China? How do you do that?
You start relationships with factories, and it wasn't easy. You know, the first factory that we shortlisted and I wanted to work with, they didn't want to take the Kogan order because at that stage the business started with $0 and they're not interested in an order of one container. So I redid all of their marketing material because it was in Chinglish and showed them that the value add in working with me is, you know, there's a win-win here and I'll help you guys and I'll show you how to do business the Western way. And I stayed up all night, redid all their marketing material, pricing brochures, and I said, well, the value isn't the one container. You can.
It's a lifetime relationship.
Yeah, and you know that they accepted the order the next day, gave us an even better price than we negotiated, and contacted us a week later saying we've just locked in a huge client from Europe because of what you did for us. So,
okay.
Yeah.
But I guess the question people at home would be thinking, well, how can you get a television made in China that would be of equal to Sony or all the big brand names that we know that JB Hi-Fi and Harvey Norman would sell?
Yeah, well, if you understand the technology used in a TV, it's, you know, people think it's complicated, but it's an LCD panel, it's a tuner board, and it's a power board.
You're saying.
Yeah. So when it comes to the panels, there's a handful of companies in the world that manufacture LCD panels. You look at the market, there's thousands of brands. You know, they're all using panels made by Samsung or LG or Hitachi or Sharp. Even if you get a Bang & Olufsen or a Sony, they're not using panels made by those companies. And then you have the other components that go into it as well. So, yeah, we negotiated with factories, and a lot of these factories are making some of the world's biggest brands, and struck a deal.
Okay, price difference between what we see in a retail store and what you guys... This is what going to be your strength, isn't it?
It is, and you know, you've got to compare apples with apples as well. There's even a lot of our TVs have features which the big brands don't. Like, there's a lot of
So yours are better, you're saying?
In some aspects, yeah, definitely, because, you know, we're an open, transparent business. We're including USB ports and built-in PVRs into our TVs, whereas some other brands want you to buy their add-on PVR to the TV and things like that. So, you know, we're a lot more open like that, but, you know, people can experience huge savings. The best indication of that would be to, you know, check kogan.com.au, but we're yeah.
So if someone's buying a typical, say, $1,000 TV, just to ballpark it...
I'd say we'd be able to, you know, give it for $600, $650.
So it could be that kind of difference. And you guys are still making pretty good money out of it.
And we're making margin. Where the advantage comes into it is our supply chain. We've cut out all the middlemen. So whereas traditionally a product goes from a factory to an exporter to an importer, wholesaler, retailer, and then reaches the end customer, we've cut all of that out. So all of those people want their 15-20% cut. We've cut that out and brought the product to them more efficiently.
So how does it get from China to you, to me sitting at home after I've ordered the TV online? How does that happen?
So we've got a shipping company would bring a container to our warehouse, we'd load the container, it'd go on a vessel, it'd arrive here, and then once it arrives in Australia, we've got pretty complex algorithms even there to work out which courier company in Australia it'd be cheapest to deliver this product to your specific address with, and then we get it delivered.
So it's all going to Melbourne, that's where hometown
It is, yeah.
But they can go out to
and then
anywhere,
goes all over Australia.
Perth, and Northern Territory, and you still can make money out of it, yeah?
Certainly. We've even got containers on the way to the UK at the moment. The business has been so successful here that, smart shoppers don't only exist in Australia, they're all over the world.
So
we're expanding
you're now
the brand.
becoming an exporter?
No, they're not coming. They're going straight from China to the UK.
Yeah, but you're getting the margin, aren't you, on that?
So we're manufacturing in China. So the Australian company is manufacturing in China, sending to the UK, and we're operating our business out of Melbourne in the UK.
Yeah, but eventually that money you make from an English buyer ends up in Australia, doesn't
Correct,
it? So you're an exporter.
Well,
I'm glad I taught you something.
Then we are,
you are, mate. Well, that's what an exporter does. You either sell services or goods and the money comes here. Well done. Now, my next question to you is the service issue must be very important. Some people would be worried, well, if I go and buy it from Harvey Norman and the thing cuts up, I can ring up the store and say, hey, what's going on here, fix it up. What happens in your case?
Yeah, well, that's a very important issue, and that's one thing that's stopping people from shopping online, but they're getting better and better at it because they're realising online's actually safer. If you're worried about how's Kogan's service, go to Google, type in Kogan, have a look. We're a fully transparent business. You can read reviews from our last 100,000 customers. We've got repair agents set up all over the country. Wherever you have an issue, we will leap to action and we will fix it very quickly. On top of that, we'll even do even better service than the other stores because we give you multiple avenues to contact us. We've got live chat support, we've got phone support, we've got email support. There's a number of ways you can communicate with us, and we can't afford an upset customer. Every one of our customers is like giving a megaphone to everyone in a shopping centre. The moment you're upset, go onto a blog or a forum or leave a review. The next person that goes to Google and types in Kogan will get to see that. So I'd say that our service is far superior to all the others.
Have you ever been a victim of rivals putting negative comments about Kogan?
There's been, sometimes a comment out there and we say, well, hang on, we've never heard about the problem. We say, please contact us, we haven't heard from you and things like that. Yeah. But it's all fully transparent. People can make a judgment. If you go along to a website or a forum and you can see a person complaining about something and then you see the manufacturer's gone on and say, hang on, tell us more about this problem, and then you don't see them talk about it anymore, you go, all right, something's not right here. So, it's fully transparent, but usually, we've got a 99.9% satisfaction rating from our customers.
Were there any hoops you had to jump through legally to set up your business?
No, not really.
No, I would have thought so.
There's nothing illegal about stating facts. So some of the big brands got a bit upset when we started out and we said, here's a Kogan TV with this panel and, this one uses a panel from this manufacturer. They got a bit upset at it and we said to them, well, hang on, we're just stating facts here. Yeah. And they couldn't pursue that any further.
You've had no legal action from the big firms?
No, there's nothing wrong with statement of facts.
Yeah, they take the court, they thought you were doing something wrong. How many people are you employing nowadays?
There's about 30 people in our Melbourne office, but we outsource a lot of things as well. So there's...
The contractors make up your workforce.
Exactly. Like there's a lot of people working in the warehouse and distribution facility. There's a lot of people working every day around Australia to deliver our products. So anything that's not core to our business, we'll outsource.
How old are you now, Ruslan?
27.
27. I probably wrote a story on you about 2 years ago.
You did, yeah.
25. Where did your money come from?
I had no money when I started the business,
good story.
It came from actually a Virgin credit card. So it was. I started the business.
You love Richard Branson because of that, yeah?
I've loved him for a long time before that in the way that he innovates and breaks through in markets and is a great challenger brand. But I luckily started the business at a time when the banks were giving credit cards to anyone. So when I had the idea, I went online, filled out a few forms. All of a sudden, I had all these credit cards arrive in the mail. That provided some of the funding, but the other was we started the business out with a pre-sale. So we told people, here's this great offer, compare it side by side against any other offer in the marketplace. And they did that, but we said, but the catch is you'll have to wait 30 days for your product to arrive.
So a bit like pre-selling home units, but with a shorter timeline.
Yeah. And then our next shipment was a 20-day pre-sale, and now we've got 20 or 30 containers on the water at any time.
Yeah. How long does a person have to wait for a product now?
Now, if you order at 7 a.m, you could get it at midday.
Yeah, and so you're not just doing TVs as well now?
We've expanded into home appliances, so we've seen there's other industries where people aren't getting the quality they're after and getting ripped off. So we're doing coffee machines, we're doing vacuum cleaners, microwaves and things like that. So, and we'll keep on expanding. You know, the business model is all about bringing in the right product and delivering it to a customer with a value-based proposition that no one's been able to offer before.
Okay, now what about, you've also got Milan Direct as well?
Correct, Milan Direct, which is a similar business model but sells designer furniture. So
we source where from? I guess it's Asia.
It's all
like
Italian
type furniture, isn't
exactly. But for instance, a lot of the furniture uses Italian leather and 304 grade steel and things like that. So it's top quality product and sold through the same online business model at milandirect.com.au.
No, it's a fantastic story. The future, how big? You know, obviously you have a vision. What's the vision going to be like?
Well, the future's to have, you know, Richard Branson and Steve Jobs round at my place for dinner asking for business advice. I can't see an end to this. There's online retail is the future. It's saving people money, it's giving them better quality products, it's a more efficient way of doing business, and it can apply to every product across the board. There's additional transparency, there's additional efficiency. We know what people want and we're giving people exactly what they want, and we're doing it better than anyone else is doing it in the marketplace. So I can't see an end to this.
And what were you before you were Kogan, the online seller? What did you do before then?
I was working as a management consultant at Accenture.
Okay, so you were working in the headspace.
Yeah, and my background's all IT. I was working at General Electric as a network administrator, and put together my first computer when I was 9 years old. So I've always been into technology and how it can make life better.
Well, it's a great story, and good luck, mate.
Thank you very much.